Okay, good evening once more, and welcome to the week 4 of the Deputy Mentorship Program. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about keyword research and I think SEO audits. Yes, keyword research and SEO audits. It's a follow-up from what we were discussing last week. Remember that last week we talked about search engines, how search engines work. We said that SEO, success of SEO depends on, understanding how Google and other search engines would rank their content. Now, we talked about how Google ranks their content by crawling, which has to do with, Google bots scanning the web pages. We also looked at indexing, where pages get stored in the Google's database. And we also looked at ranking, where Google ranks the page based on various factors like keywords, backlinks, the site speed, mobile friendliness, and user engagement. Right, these are some of the things we looked at. I don't know if I mentioned this last week as well, but let me just add that now we have 3 major pillars of SEO. Right, the first one is on-page SEO. It still links to what we discussed last week, because I said, there are various facets to SEO, things you do on the page, things you do while developing the page, the technical bits, things you do that has to do with the content, right? So we have the on-page SEO, which means optimizing the content directly on the web page. For example, your keywords, your headings, also the readability of your content. All of these things has to do with the SEO that you carry out on the page. Then when you talk about off-page SEO, off-page SEO has to do with the external efforts that you're making to improve rankings. For example, things that you do regarding backlinking, social shares, like sharing on social media and other things. Then the third pillar is the technical SEO. Technical SEO has to do with improving the website's back end. So has to do with the development bits, the site speed, the mobile optimization or responsiveness, and various other things that has to do with SEO while you're developing the page. So these are the pillars, 3 pillars of SEO. So whatever you're doing regarding SEO would always revolve around these 3 pillars. Right, so that brings us to today's session. Remember that this is not exactly a class, it is more like a guidance, it's a mentorship session. So I'm guiding you to be able to develop your skills around digital marketing and content writing, right? So I'm just going to be walking you through what keyword research means and what it means to perform an SEO audit. Now, when it comes to, I already touched a bit about keyword research, keywords, when I was explaining how, search engines work. And I said that keywords are, like the words or phrases now people will type into the search engines to find information. So you're looking for how to get the latest Louis Vuitton. Now you're going to search for, or the latest iPhone, for example. You would search for maybe where to buy iPhone, or where to buy the latest iPhone or iPhone 16, or just something around that. So that thing you're typing in that search box, in the search area, right, is the keyword. And then again, now when it comes to SEO specifically, using the right keywords would help your content to rank higher. I was talking about types of keywords. I said there are various types of keywords, right? Or they are categorized into the following. The first one is short tail keywords. And these short tail keywords would usually be like one word, for example, shoes or bags, or maybe anything at all you can think of, but maybe just a word, right? Those are short tail keywords. And with these short tail keywords, the thing is they are usually broad. Just think of, keep in mind SEO. SEO has to do with, optimizing your your page, your website to be visible on the search engine, right? So you cannot optimize for something that is that broad. Like, what exactly is shoes? Are you trying to sell shoes? Are you producing shoes? Are you talking about the benefit of shoes on your website? What exactly has shoes got to do with you in relation to SEO and in relation to your, your site? So it's very broad, and there's a lot of competition around it. But then when it comes to something like long tail keywords, for example, maybe the best running shoes for beginners, right? That could be a keyword. Long tail keywords are usually anywhere from their phrases, right? So they could be a combination of like 3 to 5 words or more. So so something like if you're trying to rank for the phrase or the long tail keyword, best running shoes, or beginner best running shoes, or best running shoes for beginners, right? It's a lot more specific. It would have like a lower competition as well, but it's possible that yeah, it's a lot more specific and it would have a lower competition, because I mean, not everyone will be able to put together the same phrase as you, and it's more specific, and it helps SEO, it helps you in your SEO efforts better. So when you look at other categories, there's also branded keywords. Branded keyword has to do with like a couple of, it's also a phrase, but it would have like the brand name attached. For example, Nike running shoes, right? It has the brand Nike attached. Or if you're talking about something like Google software developers, right? Maybe you're trying to look for software developers that are working at Google or that develop Google or something like that. So my point is, it would usually have like the brand name attached, right? So it's called branded keywords. Another kind of or category of keywords, right, is geo-specific keywords. Geo-specific keywords are keywords that have like a particular location embedded in the phrase. For example, best restaurants in Lagos, best chef in Port Harcourt, hotspots in Port Harcourt, things like that, right? It would have a particular location, whether the city, a town, a country, or something. So these are called geo-specific keywords. Now, when we talk about like keyword research, right? This was what I told you all to look up last week. Now we have a couple of keywords research tools out there. There is Google Keyword Planner. I think you need to have like a Google ad account to be able to use that. There is Uber Suggest. There is Answer the Public. There is Google Trends. There is SEM Rush. So these are just, there's Ahrefs as well. So these are just a few of them, right? There are so many other tools out there that you can use to carry out your keyword research. And I would also do like a small demo as we proceed along. But before I get to that demo part, let's also talk about like SEO audit. Now, an SEO audit is something that you do. It's like a checkup, just the way you say it, just like the word there, audit. It's just like when even in the maybe financial industry or legal industry, and they're like, oh, we're going to audit your company, that kind of thing. So that word there, audit, is like a checkup. It's like a review, right, for a website to identify the weakness and improvement areas for SEO. So SEO weakness, you want to see like where you're lacking in. If you're somebody, let's say now you become like a digital marketing professional, and then you start working at a company maybe for maybe about the first quarter, right? So from January to March, you focus on using it to enhance the company's SEO efforts, like you're building on keywords, you're doing your keywords research, you're building on keywords, you're taking backlinking seriously, you've done like you've checked the site, you're optimizing your metadata and all of that, right? And then you want to see like how are you performing maybe after the first quarter. So you're doing like an SEO audit for the website. So what that means for you to check out like where you're lacking, what are the weaknesses that you still have, what are areas that you can improve on, what are the areas that you are doing well at, so like where you can channel your strategies and where to maybe lay low for a bit. Now, some of the things that you can check is the page speed, right? Does the site load quickly? You can also check the mobile friendliness, right? Is it responsive on all devices? Because I mean, you might feel like your site is responsive, but if you've not checked it, you wouldn't know, right? So you want to check if it's responsive to, let's say, a mobile view, to a tablet view, and everything is good. It's responsive, it's mobile friendly, and like everything is showing the way they are supposed to show, like all the icons. It's it's just really good on mobile, right? Because according to some statistics, people even access the web mostly with their phones than even with a laptop or a computer. Another thing you also want to check for is the meta tags, the metadata, meta tags, meta description, right? Do they include your relevant keywords? Because those are one of the first things that the bot would scan through, right? They look through your metadata even before going through the actual content on the site. So does your metadata include relevant keywords that you're trying to target? The content readability as well is also something you check during an SEO audit. Is the content easy to understand? Is it easy to follow? Another thing again is also your backlinks, right? Are some reputable sites linking to your page? Then are there also broken links on your page? Are there any error pages? Are there things that a potential client or customer would come across, would try to click a link and it's giving you like an error or something. So these are things you check for, major things you check for during an SEO audit. And I'm going to share my screen now to see if we can, walk through it with a particular tool. Give me a second. It's taking quite some time to load. Okay, so I believe so. If you sign up and sign in on SEMrush, I think from the home page you should be able to see something like this or similar. For me, I have already created a project before now, so I think probably that's why they are redirecting me here. So, but basically on the homepage of SEMrush, because I'm signed in and I've already been working with the tool, this is what I have on my homepage directly. But you should see like you might see something slightly different, but you should definitely see like this part here for you to do that search. Now, let's talk about what I was explaining earlier. So let's search for a keyword, something like shoes, right? So it has recognized that it's a keyword, and that's why it came here. So it's giving us an overview of the tool. And you can see here what the search volume is like, and it's actually showing us the search volume for Nigeria. You can come here to change the country if you're in a different location and you want to see like, or maybe your business is in a different country and you're trying to target that particular customers in that country. So you can check like the keyword overview for a particular country. And then this is showing you like what the search volume is for desktop. If you change it here, it would refresh and show you what it is for mobile as well. Okay, and it's also searching, giving you the keyword search volume for today, like the actual date. I think you can also check for, like, again, like you see here, historical data. You can check for what it was like at previous months, but obviously you would need a premium or a pro plan for that. You can also switch between currencies here. Not sure this is of much relevance, but yeah, just to show you how like, let's say, how much flexibility or like how much you're able to customize it to fit into like your search query and what you're targeting. Now you can see this is the volume, this is the keyword difficulty. Now what this means, the keyword difficulty means, it's like I said here, it's quite possible to rank for this keyword. You would need quality content focused on the keyword's intent. Now it's easy to rank for, possibly easy to rank for these broad keywords. Like I said, it's not ideal, yeah. It's not ideal because it's just shoes. Like nobody would really, people would search for shoes, but most times what you would get is like people who just be website visitors, because somebody who is doing that broad search, they may not really have the intent to like want to purchase something, maybe they are just looking for various variations of shoes. So yeah, most definitely might bring you website visitors, might bring you traffic, but it may not lead to conversions, right? So you can also see like the keyword variations here. So this is where you can now see like so rather than, this is how like is a keyword research, right? Here you can now see that they're showing you other variations or other ideas for keywords. So rather than just searching for trying to optimize your maybe page for shoes, you can see some other keywords that have like maybe an equally high keywords density, right? So shoes, shoe rack, Dr. Martin shoes, Nike shoes, shoes for men. You can see like what people are looking for. Then these questions has to do with like questions that people would ask around shoes, right? So you might want to also think about ranking or targeting these long tail keywords as well. This is what they are saying here: how to make shoes, how to tie shoes, how to draw shoes, how to lay shoes, how much is Timberland shoe in Nigeria. These are what people are also searching for, and you can see like what the volume of search is. So like getting all this information, all this data would help you to see, okay, people are searching for this what's it called, phrase or long tail keyword, right? So you might want to also maybe, if you're trying to optimize for this as well, you might also want to maybe start writing blogs around it, or just like embedding it in your website. If you have like maybe an e-commerce website, or your page has to do with something related to shoes. You can also see here, still related to the keyword, right? Still giving you ideas around like what keywords that people search for. For example, lady shoes, latest shoes for men, and you can see this part, the kind of content, right, that or pages that people would create for this. Some people would create like informational content. Other people is like commercial content or page. Like their page is focused on maybe just giving information, like say blog page. For some other people, it could be like a commercial site, like maybe to actually sell something. So there are various things that you can gain from doing like a keyword research. Maybe you another thing, and that way you can also do, okay, I'm coming to that, but before I get to that, you can just take a look at you know go through the page, see what like the breakdown is for various kinds of um keywords. Let me click on this. I've clicked on that. It's going to so I do not have, since I'm using the free version, there's a limit to what I can check for. Why is this thing behaving like this? There's a limit to what I can check for. So I'm just going to stick to my shoes. But these tools are amazing. But the only thing is most times you get limited, you're limited as to what you can do on the free or the basic plan. You might have to like subscribe to get the full thing or upgrade. Let's see how much it costs. Oh, the price is not even showing here. Anyways, you can definitely check this out at your own time. Okay, I think I saw it at the bottom part, say 130 something dollars. So it's quite pricey. So yeah, if you're able to, you can definitely subscribe, or just like use the free version if you're just using it to practice. Usually for companies that are investing in their SEO efforts, they would usually maybe subscribe to one of these tools, so they get to see understand better their site. Now let's do check for another thing. Now in this search panel as well, as you can see, you can search for both a domain, that is a website domain. You can search a URL that you can literally just copy the URL from the website and search them for a particular keyword, and it will give you an analysis or a report on it. So let me check for a domain. Let me just check for a random domain, www. So this is oh, looks like okay, so let me just show you this before, because this is something I have done before using this project. Let me see if it would work. Okay, amazing, because this is something I have looked up before and I've created a project for it. So unfortunately, maybe I've done my free search for today. That's why they're not allowing me to proceed. But now this is something you would get, an example of what you would get if you're doing like, if you're searching for a domain. So you can search for a domain and you can create a project out of it. For example, if you are working in a company and then you're working as a content writer or a digital marketer, and you're trying to see how you can improve their SEO efforts, you can definitely do that by looking up either the URL or the domain of the company, and it will give you, you can use these various you know these features here to see like things that you can improve on the website. For this is, for example, now here we're getting like an overview of the domain. You can see like what the authority score is, how much organic traffic they are getting, what organic keywords they are getting, and if you click on these things, you'll be able to get more detailed insights you can see the keywords that they are doing paid ads for. Then you can now see like a broad report as to how the SEO will be on the page. Additionally, you can also do like a proper SEO audit, right? If I click on, let me do this one now. If you click on site audit and then you put in a domain, I don't want to do that. You'll be able to audit your site. It will tell you, okay, for example, now you can check, these are the limit of the pages that you can check that are related to the website. You can check the crawler settings, how the bot is crawling the page, um, you know, various things around the auditing the site. And once you start this SEO audit, it will take you some time, but it would like they'll send you an email once it's done, and you'll be able to see like where, for example, here, okay, like this is what is a demo audit would look like, and they'll show you like where the errors are, what are the warnings, and you'll be able to trace it down to maybe is it related to the page speed, is it related to the maybe mobile responsiveness and various other things. Like we'll do like an in-depth analysis, and you'll be able to like once you're informed on where to on what the errors are and where to improve, you'll be able to take that back and where to improve on, either with the content or with taking it back to the engineers and all that. So I'd really want you to like go back, explore these tools, and I'm also going to drop some resources for you that would help you out. There are various possibilities that you can achieve with these SEO tools, and in this case SEMrush. It's such a brilliant tool that would aid your SEO efforts. So you just need to get acquainted with it and see how you can leverage it. For example, let me search women shoes. You see, okay. Uh-oh. Okay, too bad I can't do more searches. But if I had gotten a report on this, now I'll be able to see like what the keyword density is still around. Like if you're thinking about a new keyword, for example, another way to also get an idea for what keyword, because for people who are beginners in SEO, you might be thinking, oh, how can I even know what keywords to search for? Like where do I start from, right? A good place to start from would be maybe if the company, if the obviously you're doing SEO because the project or the company would have a website, right? So you're trying to get them to rank for. So you can definitely compare. I think there's a tool here that you can use in comparing um comparing like your site and your competitor sites. I think either traffic analysis or one of these ones here, like you see here, competitive research. You can do like a competitive research between your site. So you paste your domain, your own domain, and you paste your competitor's domain, and they'll be able to give you an analysis as to like, oh, what are keywords that your competitor are ranking for? What are the keywords you're ranking for? And so with that information, you'll be able to know, oh, if you can also target those keywords or something similar, right? And you also be able to, so that would give you like a head start as to, okay, maybe I should start thinking about how I can rank for this keyword. Another way to do like a keyword research or help you know where to even start from is by also, obviously, you have to do in-depth research as well on your own, because you want to make sure that, oh, you are ranking better than your competitors. You want to outshine your competitors, obviously, because it's a business. So you can look at even without using these SEO tools, you can also just look at their websites. You can look at their blogs, their content. What are some words or phrases that you're seeing repeatedly on their websites? That's how you know like what keywords they are trying to optimize for. Because if somebody is trying to optimize for a keyword, you'll definitely want to place it strategically a number of times on their page. So you can also identify on your own without even using these tools. So these are just various ways that you can perform an SEO audit, you can perform a keyword research and all that. So remember to keep in mind, you're looking for an audit, you're looking at the page speed, mobile responsiveness, meta tags and descriptions, content readability, backlinks, broken links, and these are like the major things that you check for. So I'll stop sharing now. I hope that was clear. Or is there any part you want me to reiterate on before I proceed?
Yeah, you were clear. But I have a question to ask.
Hmm?
So on the SEO audit, there was something like broken links, errors, and then warnings and notice. So what are the warnings and notices in that site audit? Like what do
Is
they
this
refer to?
part of what I shared when I was sharing
Yes,
my screen?
yes.
Oh, okay. So the warnings would be like um still related to like broken links, right? Let me see if I can still put that up again. It's still related to like, okay, maybe things that you should do, things that are hindering your SEO efforts, right? Because it's giving you a warning that, oh, if you're not doing this, if it's going to basically highlight that in red, maybe if there's a broken link or if there's a particular thing that maybe your page is missing like a meta description or something like that. So it's basically going to just give you that warning that okay, this thing is hurting your SEO efforts. Trying to bring it up. Why is my network so slow? Yeah. So this is just giving like a sample as to what the audit would look like, right? So if you perform an audit here with SEMrush, you'd have like a dashboard like this for that audit, right? And you'll be able to show like see like various aspects of SEO on a report. So for the errors, it will show you like various things that are wrong SEO wise, as well as the warnings, things that you should avoid doing basically that would hurt your SEO efforts. That's what it means. And this is just like a demo thing that they put here. It's an image to show you what a site audit would look like. So it's possible that you may not have any warnings when you do yours. It's possible that you would have a couple of them. So yeah, that's just what it means. Does it make sense now?
Yes. Also, I have another question.
Mhm.
So regarding using keywords in your content, is there anything like too much keyword? Because when like before, I actually used WordPress to write like a blog for a company. So
Mhm.
there's suggestions they will give you keywords that you need to have. So
Mhm.
having a lot of keywords on your content, even if they're actually relevant, does it also reduces the site's responsiveness or does it affect it in any way?
Oh yes, absolutely it does. So you don't want to have multiple keywords on your website because the thing is that's why we have like primary keywords and secondary keywords, right? So your primary keyword would just be like maybe a particular phrase, right? The secondary keyword would be like maybe a couple of phrases that you have like various variations for. Maybe um your primary keyword can be something like buy shoes for um maybe Nigerian women shoes, for example. Then your secondary keywords can be black Nigerian women shoes, um, flat Nigerian women shoes, Nigerian women shoes for bikers, like various variations of that primary keyword, right? Because you are targeting that primary keyword, but at the same time, you're also like having those variations so that people would search for various things around. You cannot obviously predict exactly what everybody will be searching for. People would have various search intent. So you don't want to have multiple different keywords on your page because you want to target one particular thing as your primary and then have like various variations around it like your secondary. Now if you're targeting various keywords, it means like you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to focus on one thing, and it's going to be hard to rank for a particular thing or keyword, right? So you want to like target something and then just target the variations to around it, not just having multiple what's it called, keywords on your site. And the most places that people would put their keyword, they put it in their meta title, meta description, and then in headings. Like remember last week I talked about like various headings, the H1, H2, H3, and various headings, right? Because those are the things that the crawlers would go through first of all before scanning other content on your site. You want to ensure that the keywords are on those headings, and also appearing in across various places as well, content on your website. Does that make sense? Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Good. So moving on, just talked about SEO. So I would really like you to, at your own time, pick out a tool, maybe use this SEM Rush. Although the resources I'm going to share are around also using SEM Rush, and just seeing how much you can use it around using it for audit and keyword research. So maybe once you go through those videos, there are videos that are produced by the SEM Rush team themselves. It would help you to see like more possibilities that you can achieve with the SEO. Let me even drop them now. Let me drop them now. So putting it in the chat section. So this one would help you, give you more details into keyword research. And this one would guide you as well in completing an SEO audit. So do well to check out those resources. Okay, so the next thing I want to also talk about is having SEO optimized, excuse me, optimized product descriptions. All right. So first of all, what makes a good product description? What makes a good product description? It's about still related to when we talked about maybe social media content, right? In the same way, how can you write a good product description? A good product description should basically, you should have a keyword rich title. What that means is that you should have the keyword. If you're maybe have an e-commerce website or something related, and you're trying to do like a products page or something similar, that page or the title of that page should have your keyword embedded in it. For example, if we're still talking about like our shoes, you want to have something like lightweight, how do I put it? Maybe lightweight running shoes for marathon training, right? You want to ensure that if that's what you're trying to, the keyword you're trying to rank for is embedded in that title. Another thing is you also want to have like an engaging introduction. The first sentence should always hook the reader. You don't want to have like huge bounce rates on your website, like someone is coming to your website and next second they are moving on. You want them to actually go through your website and of course possibly make a purchase or perform an action. Then so obviously the first sentence should hook the reader. There should also be like a feature, benefits and breakdown, right? So you should not just describe your features of your product or your shoes. For example, if you're selling shoes, you're talking about how the leather is sourced from Italian leather. You're talking about how the color is very attractive. You're talking about how it is very comfortable to wear. Like, don't just describe the features, right? Of course, you would sell the product, you're describing the features, but you also want to explain how to help the customer, right? So you want to say something like, oh, for somebody who is working in 9 to 5, you want to say something that is relatable, right? Why should they actually purchase their shoes? So it involves a bit of psychology, right? So you want to put yourself in the mind or wear the shoes of the customer, right? What would you want to see when you come on a page like that? So these are things you think about when you're trying to create SEO optimized product descriptions, right? Same thing with social media content. Now, let me give you an example and then you tell me which one is good or bad and why. I'm going to paste it in the chat section. So this is the first sentence. And this is the second sentence. So which of them would you, if you're somebody who have a website, right? What would you have, which of the sentences would you put on your website and why?
The second one.
Okay, why?
Because it's not just describing a t-shirt, it's also like telling you what type of t-shirt, but in a more engaging way. So it's like this experience on match comfort. That's beginning side. You actually want to see, you're drawn to see what kind of t-shirts will give you that kind of on match comfort. So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
it doesn't just list out everything like that. It makes it more, it's more humane. Like someone like describing something for you, like someone close to you describing something for you in a better way, something like that.
Okay, good. Um, amazing. That's it. It's correct, right? The second sentence, it talks about how much comfort, the customer, the person would get from using the shoes, right? It has you have unmatched comfort. It is 100% cotton, t-shirt rather, not shoes. It's a breathable t-shirt, so you won't be feeling so hot. It is designed for everyday wear. I mean, people want to have like comfortable fits these days. It's available in multiple sizes to ensure the perfect fit. So you're seeing that like it's very descriptive, it is elaborate, and rather than saying something like, oh, this is a blue cotton t-shirt available in small, medium, and large. Okay, great. But the other one, it's more descriptive, it's more relatable, it's more enticing, even, right? You see that and you're thinking about, oh, you want to purchase the website, sorry, the shirt rather than our website. So that's what it's like. So in the same way, writing social media content, you want to write things that would captivate the user. When you're writing product descriptions as well, or things that go on your website, you want to write things that people are seeing, and then they are like, okay, this looks really great, this looks enticing, I want to actually take an action. Finally, the last thing I'm going to be talking about today is on-page and off-page SEO strategies. So just in conclusion, of what I've been saying all along, right? Some like best practices for having your on-page SEO. Right? Remember, I talked about the 3 pillars of SEO. I said we have the on-page SEO that is optimizing content directly on the web page. Off-page SEO, that's your external efforts like backlinking and social shares. Then the technical SEO, which has to do with the website backend development bits and all. Now, what are some best practices, SEO best practices that you can keep in mind, especially for on-page and off-page, which is something that would directly affect or directly impact the digital marketer? So the technical SEO has to do with the developers. Now, the first thing is you have to use targeted keywords, which is something I've been reiterating ever since. Use targeted keywords in the title, in the URL, and in headings, right? Also, you also have to have a compelling meta description, right? An ideal meta description has to have about 150 to 160 characters, right? And the title would have, I think about 10 words or less. I can't remember the character count. Let me do a quick search for it. Idea. Meta. Okay, yeah. The meta title is usually between 50 to 60 characters. The ideal meta title shouldn't be less than 50 and shouldn't be more than 60 characters. Right? Characters including spaces. Then the description is about 150 to 160 characters including spaces. Another best practice for your on-page SEO is internal linking, right? You have to link to other pages on your website. Another thing is also to have alt text, alternative text for your images. So when you're putting an image on your website, on a blog, don't just put an image like that with no image title, no image description, right? It's always very important because when the crawlers are going through the sites, these are kind of things that they check for, right? Does your image have an alternative text? Because the people who are maybe disabled and it's important, it helps the site, and basically the crawlers just go through it. So another example I want to also give you is, I'm also going to paste this on the chat section. This is the first one, first sentence or phrase, and second sentence. Now, you can see the difference between these two things, right? For someone who is maybe, like I talked about the long tail keywords. Now, because most times these long tail keywords would sometimes look like a sentence, right? They look like a sentence. So sometimes somebody might just feel like, oh, I can just use it like that on my website, right? Just like we have here, marketing tips. The first one, it's like the keyword. And then the second one goes 10 proven marketing tips to skyrocket your business in 2024, 2025, right? Now, you can see the difference between these two things. If you're creating like a blog or something like a blog, and then you're titling it marketing tips, it is very boring, very unattractive, and somebody might not even click on it because, I mean, marketing tips, it's just there. when you have like 10 proven marketing tips to skyrocket your business in 2025, for example, somebody curious, someone who's thinking about how they can improve their business, how they can enhance their efforts, it's something that they will definitely find enticing and they would want to click on. The second thing is when it comes to like best practices for the off-page SEO strategies, it's remember the off-page bit has to do with your external efforts. So it's kind of like building backlinks to help your sites to rank better. Backlinks has to do with, having your links show up on other reputable sites. So you do things like guest blogging, right? You write for other websites in your niche. And when you write about that, when you write like content about on the other websites, you have to include the links to your website on that content. That's what it means to do like guest blogging. Another thing you can do is social sharing, right? That's why people do social media, and they create social media pages for their business, right? Because sometimes when you search for maybe a particular thing on Google, a phrase or something like that, or a keyword, you would see like amongst the pages that would be ranking, you would also see social media as well. Maybe you see an Instagram page, you would see a LinkedIn page and things like that. So social media also plays a role in your SEO efforts. Another thing is collaborations, right? When you're trying to enhance your off-page SEO strategies, you can also do collaborations with industry partners, with influencers, right? So that they can mention you. Remember, people that have like good following, people that have people are going to their site or going to their pages, right? It will help give more traction as well to your own website. So that's what I'm going to. These are the things I'm going to cover for today. Let me know if you have any questions, and we can trash that out right now, or just let me know if today's session has been impactful as well.
Yes, I have a question. So concerning internal linking, you can actually link a previous article you wrote before in another article. It also qualifies as internal linking, right?
Oh yes, that's exactly what internal linking is.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other one?
No, I don't have any other question. I understood very well.
Okay, that's pretty much it for today. Okay, additionally, there's also another resource I wanted to recommend for you. This is a course that I took a couple of years ago, and it's a paid course, but although I got a what's it called, discount from Udemy. So I don't know. Although what I'm seeing now is the actual amount. Now that I'm checking for the course. Well, I don't know. Click on the link and check. You might have a coupon or discounts that you might be able to access the course for. I would 100% recommend this course. As when I took the course, I think that's like 2 years ago. So it was around, excuse me, the discount I got, I think I paid like 6K or 4K or thereabouts. So, but what I'm seeing here is 129 thousand plus. How much are you seeing there? Do you have any discounts?
It's still loading.
Okay, so if you're able to pay for the course, take it. It's really good. Mark Cook is someone that is really experienced in SEO, and the course was really explanatory. Took me from beginner to, literally to professional. Like he explained various aspects of SEO, right, from the crawling part, the indexing, to what you should do, what you should not do, and just various other things. It was really in depth and very explanatory. So highly recommend. Then for your assignment for this week, it's going to be one that out. So first of all, did you take a look at the feedback I gave on the last one?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. So yeah, just do well to work on those, and I'm hoping that in this new one that I'll be giving you, I would not have to, some of those errors would not be repeated, especially when it comes to like typo. So what I want you to do for your assignment is you're going to write a blog, right? Write a blog, pick a title, write anything of your choice, write on it a 1,000 word article, right? And that is optimized for SEO. So I want you to like do your keyword research, or identify what would be your primary keyword and secondary keywords, put them strategically in your blog, right? They should appear. And okay, so a 1,000 word article that is optimized for SEO. That's literally what you're doing, right? And then this article should have obviously your for it to be optimized for SEO, you should have your meta title. Just include it maybe at the bottom part of the article or at the top somewhere. The meta title, the meta description, also include the primary keyword, the secondary keywords you are optimizing for, right? Then just work on the blog, any topic of your choice, pick a topic, write on it, and then optimize it for SEO. Does it make sense? Is it something that you can do?
Yes, I can.
Okay, amazing.
So
So
the primary keyword and
hmm?
the primary keyword and secondary keyword, do I need to list them out like a certain
Yes.
place before?
Yes. Do
Okay.
list it out. So before the title of your blog, before you start writing the blog, just have a section, just put it up there, meta title, write the meta title, meta description, you put it there, primary keyword, put it there, secondary keyword, put it there, then your title of the blog, and then the body, conclusion, everything. So that once I'm reviewing, I know what I'm looking out for, and I'm just like going with the flow like that. So yeah, hopefully you can get it done between now to Tuesday. I'm hoping that our next session, I don't think I'll be available next week, Sunday. So we might likely have our session between Thursday to Saturday, hopefully. So if I can review your content before then, it will be great. So I can read through it, and then when we come on out the class, the session like this, I'll now give you your feedback. So I'll be looking forward to just write it in a Google Doc, put the link, just paste the link on our Slack like you did the last time. And what else? Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'll be looking. Let me stop the recording now. I'll be looking forward to seeing that by next week.
Okay.
Okay.